Well, hello there. It's Nikki here from Gummy Lion Plans. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. It's lovely to meet you. And if you're a returning visitor, welcome back. Today I thought I'd just do a very quick show of my 2025 planner journal lineup. These are just my daily getting into books. I've got other journals that I use for different journals for, art journaling, for light journaling, dark journaling, and that sort of thing. These are the ones that I go into every day. So I thought I would just show them and show you what I'm doing. And I'd love to know what you guys are using for next year or using for right now. I'm fascinated with knowing how other people and seeing how other people do things, because it inspires me to tweak and change and I just love it. I really do. It's one of my greatest things is to see what other people are doing. So right, without further ado, I'm going to carry on. Let's just do this. I'm going to start with the journals, and the first journal that I have here is this lovely A6 Hobonichi Techo, which I received yesterday unexpectedly from a dear friend of mine, Nuji, who lives in the community where I live here in Dubai. And she's she's amazing. She's absolutely amazing, and she inspires me a lot, actually. And so she gave me a Christmas gift of the 2025 Hobonichi Techo A6, as well as these lovely Midori stamps. I'm just going to put it over here. Self-inking, yes, these are self-inking stamps. And I've always wanted them. Her sister was recently in Japan, and I believe that they came with her sister. I could be wrong about that, but I've got a feeling that they did. And I'm so grateful, Nuj. I love you so much. So I've got this Techo in an Oxnite A6 cover, which I got for Christmas last year. It's really nice. I haven't decorated the pockets. I'm thinking I'm actually not going to bother. I do enjoy that, and you'll see that when we get to the weeks in my Moterm. But for this one, I put some vellum in last night. And what I really want to do with this, and it's a daily journal, it's the first time I'm actually restraining myself to wait until the 1st of Jan and not redate. What I normally would do is I would go to the back and I would read dates, whenever I got it. So I've done from November onwards, I've done December onwards, but I actually want to have this one from the 1st of January to the 31st of December 2025. And I'm aiming to journal in it every day. And it's going to be the kind of journal where it's okay, even if I put a word on the page, even if I just write on the page, don't feel like journaling today. But I really want to get to the end of 2025 and I want to have something on every single page. It's not necessarily always going to be pretty. It's not for, that kind of journaling. It's also not going to be for exclusively, deep, dark secrets or the inner workings of my mind and my heart and things like that. But it could have that. I'm going to make this a very free way of journaling for myself, where I'm going to document what happened on the day, perhaps. Again, just write out in capital letters if I'm frustrated with something. If I want to put, stickers and decorate and make an actual sort of collage journal page, I can do that. If I don't want to do that, that's also okay. So that's what I'm doing with this one. So there's the I've put the vellum in. It's really, really pretty. I've tipped the vellum in. I haven't lost any of the pages. I haven't written a thing in this except for my name and my word of the year, which is on a sticky note. My word of the year for next year is tenacity, because I'm a master procrastinator, and at the ripe age of 53, I really have figured out what I want to be when I grow up, and that is to create content like this, to better myself, to just share the things that I love with people who perhaps love a similar thing, and to learn from them and them to learn from me, and to just follow what is my first love when it comes to hobbies and anything really. I've always been a stationery lover. My earliest memories are getting little tiny notebooks. My mom still teases me about that, in a lovely way, and it's true. I've always loved my little notebooks. I've always loved pretty pens, and I've always loved anything sort of paper and pen and sticker, and of course with all the products and the different styles and mediums that we have these days, it's a lovely thing, and it gets me off the computer because I do work online for the most part, and so it gets me off the screen, and it just gets that side of me, which is the biggest part of me actually, that creative side of me creating, because we don't always feel like creating, and it is a muscle, in a way. It's like I believe it's like a neurological muscle, whatever the case is that if you don't exercise that creative muscle of yours, that it does tend to sort of fade a little bit, but it doesn't go away, because we do have muscle memory. We have that with our physical structure and muscles and things like that, and we also have it in our brains, in our neurological structures, that once we start exercising that muscle again, we can build that. So I have been sort of non-creative for about 2 years now, and I miss it. I really do miss it. And so this is it for me. I'm going to start. So it's not always going to be pretty, and it's not always going to be what I would hope it would be. But at the end of the day, and at the end of the year, I'm going to have a completed journal, and I haven't had a completed journal since 2011, so this is the one. Okay, so moving on from that one, so I'll put you over there. So this one over here, and I'm following a similar principle as I am with my daily journal. This is my faith journal. It's for any notes that I have. It's for any sermon notes, prayers, just general wonderings, when I'm reading the word, if I've got questions, for myself to research and to just grow in my faith and grow with my relationship with the Lord. I wrote here on the first page, or it's kind of on the, what do you call this? Like the flyleaf page or whatever it is. This is where I fight my battles. And this notebook I got from Amazon. It is, the brand is called Plum Paper. It is Tomari River paper. I think it's 62 GSM or 67 GSM. It's lovely. It's a lovely cream. It's got no lines, got no dots, no squares, nothing to sort of control where I'm writing. I do prefer a freestyle way of doing things. I don't use fancy pens. My favorite pen ever is this. It's a Pentel eBall 07 Fine in the blue, and it's a really simple, quite very cheap pen. And funny story, I can't actually get it here in the UAE. I can't find it on Amazon. I can't find it on Amazon.com. I can't find it on Amazon.uk. So every time someone goes to South Africa, I tell them, go to P&A, please, and get me a bunch of these pens. So I do have some black ones as well, but the Pentel blue, it makes my handwriting look really nice. And I'm left-handed, so I need my handwriting to look decent. And this is scribble handwriting for me, but I love it because it makes it's creating, and creativity in and of itself is a very personal thing. It's very subjective. It's everybody is creative. Everybody, whether you think you're creative or not, you are creative. We're not necessarily artists. I'm not an artist, but I am a creative. Anyway, sorry, that little tangent there. So that's my pen. So yeah, it's literally just going from page to page. And again, I've given myself permission that I can make a mess, that I don't have to make pages pretty. I can just get it down, just get it out of my brain and put it down onto paper so that I can go back and reflect on it, and I can just know that I've made a note of it, so my brain can release it, so I don't have to worry, did I remember that, did I remember that? And that goes for planning, it goes for tasks, but it especially goes for me personally. It does go for my faith walk, for my journey with the Lord. So we've got that one. I just decorated the cover, and I covered it with contact paper to put little book corners on, and that's fair enough for me. So I'm happy with that. Happy. So we'll just put that there. All right, planners. I've got the 2 planners here. So the first one I've got here, this is my EDC, my everyday carry. I have always been, well, I say always, since 2016, I've been a disc-bound happy planner girl, because I am left-handed. You know, I do like the customizability of it. I love the fact that I can take things in out. I can sort of give myself a dopamine boost when I want to change it up and keep the same things. But I've got loads and loads of happy planners. I'm really blessed by that. And I put them away for now, because right now, this is what I need. These 2 here are what I need. And so this is a Moterm cover. I love Moterm. I first heard about them when I was in South Africa still, and one of my favorite YouTubers, Marianne Hammersays, she has a channel, Plan with Marianne, in South Africa. She is an amazing planner. She's an amazing person. She's a beautiful woman, and I was very blessed to have a good friendship with her. I need to actually get hold of her and see how she's doing. So she had a Moterm, and I fell in love with this. And so since we've moved to the UAE, I've been very lucky to be able to build a little collection of Moterm covers. So this is the one for the weeks, the Hobonichi weeks. And at the moment, I've actually got this Kinbor in there. Now, Kinbor is widely available on AliExpress. You can get them on Amazon.ae. I'm not sure about Amazon.com and Amazon.co.uk, but on AliExpress, Moterm actually has an official store. And when I was on there looking for the Moterm, sorry, I said Moterm, I meant to say Kinbor. So when I was on there, I noticed this Kinbor brand, and Kinbor is essentially a Hobonichi dupe, and it's a very good one, actually. So and the price difference is quite significant. I received this from AliExpress on Saturday, this last Saturday gone by. It's Wednesday today, and I thought I'd give it a try. I've seen plenty of planner videos where, you know, people have compared the Hobonichi with Kinbor, and, you know, everything has its good and bad points and so on. So I thought I'd give it a try for myself. I love the cover. It's a hardback cover. I am, however, just before I carry on quickly, I am receiving from Amazon today my 2025 Hobonichi Weeks Mega. And I haven't decided whether I'm going to carry on with this Kinbor, and literally I've been using it for a couple of days because I wanted to give it a try, or if I'm going to use the Hobonichi Weeks Mega. And I will decide that over the next couple of days after I've received the Mega, and sort of just play around with it. And, you know, it's okay to do that. It's like with anything, you know, we don't know how we're going to feel about something once we actually have it in our hands, and that's okay. It's okay. So I've got a little air bubble under the cover here, but it's actually quite nice to just smooth it out. It's okay to not know, because that's why we try. That's why we experiment. That's why we, you know, as human beings, that's the whole beta test thing, for want of a better term. So this at the moment is what I've been using for the last few days, and I'm really enjoying it. I really am. It's got my word of the year there. I'm sort of putting it in each of my notebooks, and to remind me that I need to be tenacious. I actually need to sort of stop procrastinating and do something. And even if to say that it's not going to work, you know, it's like that. It's just the way it is. So this is undated. Which I don't have a problem with at all. I mean, I regularly redate older planners because I enjoy it. It's actually a very calming thing for me to do, and you'll see that when we get to the cousin over here. But for this one over here, I dated December and into January. I found a layout for the week's format that really I quite like, because I have experimented. I had a 2024 Hobonichi Weeks, which I bought just a few weeks ago because I wanted to experiment. So I've really just gone nuts in this planner because giving myself permission to play with it and to make a mess, because my little brain, my lovely subconscious, it does try to help us, but we don't actually need the help all the time. So this was a good way of figuring out what I don't want and what layouts I don't like and things like that. And this layout here I've come to really enjoy. It's very simple. It's got a little bit of color that, from PET tapes and washi that I use, but it's not overly decorated. It's just pretty enough for me to want to be in. And so, yeah, like I said, I've been using it for literally, 3-4 days. I've been enjoying it. And the new Hobo Weeks comes tonight or this evening, this afternoon or whatever. And then I'm just going to work with the two of them, and it's actually okay for me to do that. And I'm going to work out which one I prefer paper-wise. I'm very tactile. I like to know, I need to know that it feels good. It needs to feel good in my hands to want to be in it. And that's the whole point of planning. It's the whole point of recording our thoughts and notes, is to actually want to be in the place where we record it so that we can sort of muse on it. We can think about it and sort of experiment with ideas and things like that. So it has to be something I want to hold in my hands. So there we go. I'm not going to go, I've got a few pretty things in the pockets and all that, but yeah, so this is my everyday carry, my EDC, which is the Weeks cover from Moterm, and it's either going to have the Kinball or the Hobonichi Weeks Mega inside, and we'll see what happens with them. And then this is the last planner that I'm going to use on a daily basis, and I've already again started using it. Now this is a Hobonichi Weeks, my bad. It's a Hobonichi cousin, which is the A5. I have not had success with the cousin until now. And saying that, it makes it sound like I've used quite a few of them and tried it again. I haven't. I tried it in 2023, and I couldn't get it to work for me. It just didn't work for me, and it's sitting down there. And I actually use that also as scratch paper because I'm not going to waste it. It is lovely. So when I was going through this whole, planner, what am I going to use and how am I going to be the best sort of productive self, and it's been quite a journey over the last sort of last 5-6 weeks or so to try and start the year off for a change. I want to start 2025 in a good space. We're moving to a new house, and so I'm going to have my new office set up, and I want my little external brains, that's what I kind of think of these as these are my sort of second, third, fourth brain. I want them to be ready to go as well. I don't want to go into the new year without a semi-plan for the plans and the planners together. So what I did was I went on to Amazon and I bought this. This is actually a 2023 cousin. Sorry, I almost said weeks again. This is a 2023 cousin, and because it was so out of date and it was coming up, 11/11 sales and all that sort of thing, I got it for about 54 dirham, which in the US, depending on the exchange rate, is probably about $12, maybe $12 to $15 US, which is a really good price because, as we know, Hobonichi, and it's worth it, but it's not cheap. What I did was I've covered it and all that. That's not the part. The part, what I've done is I redated it. So I find redating planners very, very relaxing. And I can do it almost, I have to be mindful with it because of the dating of it, but it is a mindless thing as well that I can do. So I sat in front of the telly, I had YouTube on, then Keith joined me for a while and we were watching, don't even know what we were watching, and I just did this as I went along. No pressure, no muss, no fuss, no fancy anything, just simply white out of all the 2023 numbers and then putting in just the numbers and the dates for 2025. So I did all of the monthlies and I've done all of the weeklies. So I've got an entire planner. Let me just get there here. There we go. Yeah, so I've got an entire planner here, which is now completely dated for 2025. The problem that I had with the Hobonichi Cousin when I used it prior in 2023 was I didn't know what to do with the daily pages. I just, you know, it's a lot of space. This is, I mean, it's an A5. It's a lot of space to write things, and they do you know, Hobonichi has designed it for a very sort of freestyle way of writing. You do have and it's very faint, and I love that. The date normally would go here. Wait, I haven't finished writing out the date. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a sec. So you do have this kind of schedule bit over here. You've got some boxes up here. There is a grid paper. But it's all very faint, and you can actually just write over it. You don't have to use the guidelines that they give you. So what I did was I literally started writing out the dates completely, and to make them blank pages. Let me just get to one here. So essentially I've got a blank page here. So for me now, this has now told my little brain that this is just a notebook. I don't have to follow any daily structure, or you know, there's no condemnation on myself, and it's a self-condemnation if I don't fill it in for a day. I'm not wasting any paper. And this is actually working very well. And granted, it's only been since Saturday. So it's been like 5 days. But honestly, I have used this part of the Cousin more in the last 5 days than I did for a whole year having it in 2023, because of the fact that I don't have to. So there's no pressure on me to want to have to write in it, and there's no pressure on me to be pretty, because this is a brainstorming container, should we say that. And I'm just listing out my thoughts. I received a Temu order on the weekend as well, and had this lovely PT tape, and it's really lovely. It's very different to what I normally get, and so I just, you know, sort of swatched a little bit over here, made a little comment to myself, what priorities for the week, what's my wish list for Motum covers. So these are all the covers I want to get. What do I need for my business, you know, going into the online stationery sort of industry, shall I say, vertical. And, you know, when Nuji bought the Christmas present yesterday, so I just did and I actually wrote impromptu journal moment, and I just put it in, and these were the stickers that were on the wrapping. And then, you know, so I'm just literally writing out my thoughts as I get them. I'm writing out the thoughts. It's not bullet journal style. There's no index. There's no page numbers. It's not any style. It's Nikki style. Can I put it like that? So we'll see how it goes. I'm really enjoying this. I think it's a very simple thing. There's no pressure with this, and so that's it, guys. This is what I have, and I'm very chuffed about that. You know, I've in previous years I've always had you know, 8, 9 planners and journals in my lineup, and it's for this, and I've never stuck to it. You know, I have always planned. I always know my schedule. I always know what I have to do if I write it down. But you know, this is I don't feel pressured. It feels great, actually. And so this is what I have. So thank you if you've stayed this long in the video. I appreciate you. I really do. If you would like to share, I'd love to know what you're using, and what kind of journals and planners, and how do you do things. I love to know what other people are doing. I really do. So I'd love to know what you're using for next year. Are you going to carry on with the same system that you're using this year? Are you changing it up? I'd love to know. If you aren't already subscribed, I would be very honored if you would consider subscribing to my channel. If you liked the video, if you could give me a like, and I will see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day. Bye.